Good morning, everyone. Welcome to East Texas Today on KETK Plus. I'm your host, Tristan Van Beem. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning. I really appreciate anyone who's taking time out of their Thanksgiving day to come and watch KETK Plus. I really appreciate that. I hope that you guys are all enjoying time with family and getting to celebrate this holiday with loved ones and preparing for that Black Friday shopping. I know that a lot of people out there love to get those deals, but stay safe though. We've covered a ton of stories about people not staying safe during Black Friday, especially holiday online shopping, excuse me, and just trying to watch out for scams and everything like that. I hope you guys are having a great morning. I'm having a great one too, and don't worry, I'm not missing family time on Thanksgiving. If you're seeing me here on the show, my Thanksgiving was just pushed to Saturday, so I will get to have that holiday experience just a couple days later than everyone else. But I'm so glad to be here, and let's just go ahead and jump right into our show for this morning. And our first story is Texas drivers are bracing for heavy traffic this Thanksgiving weekend. AAA has projected an unprecedented number of travelers this weekend. The forecast indicates 5.8 million drivers in Texas and 81.8 million drivers nationwide from Wednesday to Monday. AAA also wants to give East Texans tips for navigating the roads this Thanksgiving season. KETK's Ella Mitchell has more on this story.
This is expected to be the busiest travel period for Thanksgiving on record.
AAA reports 5.8 million drivers across Texas will be on the roads from Wednesday until Monday, and a new record for nationwide drivers.
On a national level, we're expecting 81.8 million Americans to travel.
I think my main concern is just all the traffic on the roads, getting places on time when we need to. There's no reason to be on your phone and drive. There's a lot of people just trying to get to their families, and moms, kids, grandmas, grandpas, they all need to be here for the holidays. I said, we'll be all over the road this weekend, and so it'll be nice to, even though we'll probably have to fill up a few times, it won't be as bad on our pockets as it normally is.
And you're having difficulty keeping your eyes open, your head up, if you're drifting out of your lane, missing exits, or just not remembering the last few miles that you've driven, that's really a sign that you need to take a short nap.
Well, thank you so much, Ella, for your coverage on that story. And thank you for AAA. That's my friend right there, Daniel Armbruster, who's always doing the Travel Tuesdays for those of you who recognized him. And I just want to say right now and give a disclaimer, we're doing a lot of Thanksgiving stories for the show today. So, I mean, I know, it's kind of expected with it being Thanksgiving and everything, but that's kind of most of what the show is today. So be ready for that. There's a lot of great things that the East Texas community is doing for Thanksgiving this season, and I feel like they all need to have that shout out to see what they're doing to help support the community. But moving on to our next story, this one isn't really about Thanksgiving. This is about something that is near and dear to the Henderson County area. The Henderson County Commissioner's Court finalized the dissolution of the Cedar Creek Hospital District on Tuesday, establishing a new nursing scholarship in the process.
This is
Originally initiated in 1973 by the Texas legislature, the Maybank Kemp Hospital District aimed to create a hospital system serving the Maybank ISD and Kemp ISD areas. The district was later renamed the Cedar Creek Hospital District. Andrew Gibbs, who served as the longtime president of the Trinity Valley Community College Board of Trustees, advocated for the district's formation and helped secure funding to establish a hospital system. The system was established for Henderson, Kaufman, and Van Zandt counties, as noted by East Texas State Representative Keith Bell of Athens. The vision of building this new hospital system never came to fruition by 1999. Texas lawmakers had passed legislation allowing the district's board of directors to dissolve the district and allocate its assets. However, this legislation remained unutilized as all board members had either passed away or resigned, preventing the dissolution. More than 25 years later, the Texas state legislature passed House Bill 467, permitting local judges in Henderson, Kaufman, and Van Zant counties to seek voter approval for the district's dissolution and the establishment of a nursing scholarship in Gibbs' honor. On November 5th of this year, the Henderson County vote to dissolve the district was successful, with 1,499 votes in favor and 861 votes against. Following this vote, the Henderson County Commissioners Court acted to dissolve the district and allocate its funds for the new scholarship. The Andrew Gibbs Memorial Nursing Scholarship will be available to applicants from the former district's areas. Each county will contribute its share of the district's funds to the Trinity Valley Community College Foundation, which will oversee the scholarship. All right, well, that is not a bad first non-Thanksgiving story of the morning. It seems like the hospital was disillusioned, but on the other hand, a nursing scholarship was able to come out of it. So, you know, it's a give and take story, whichever way you want to look at it. Moving on to our next story of the evening, however, diplomatic pressure rises as U.S. Ambassador intervenes in Caden Hawkins' case. East Texas officials said new diplomatic pressure may finally accelerate the release of Hallsville native Caden Hawkins, who has spent the last 9 months in a Juarez prison after accidentally crossing into Mexico with a firearm. For 9 months, the family of 22-year-old Hallsville native Caden Hawkins has pleaded for help after he was allegedly jailed in Mexico for accidentally crossing the border with a firearm. Hawkins was returning from work in Arizona last March when GPS detours routed him toward a border checkpoint. According to his family, Mexican guards instructed him to pass through and then turn back toward the United States. When officers inspected his truck, Hawkins voluntarily disclosed that he had a pistol inside, leading to his immediate arrest. Since then, Hawkins has remained in Cerezo Estatal No. 3 prison in Juarez. His family said they have spent as much as $1,000 a week so he can access basic necessities like food, water, and limited protection. Despite hiring attorneys, the family was told the appeal filed shortly after his arrest could sit in the court for up to 2 years, and that his time already served may not count towards a possible sentence of up to 4 years. His sister Haley Hawkins described the ordeal as emotionally devastating, calling her brother a victim of corruption within Mexico's judicial system. In recent months, the family's public pleas have gained attention from East Texas officials. State Rep. Jay Dean and U.S. Senator John Cornyn both called for federal intervention, urging constituents to contact government offices in hopes of pressuring authorities to secure Hawkinson's release before the holidays. Representative Jay Dean announced significant progress on Wednesday, saying the U.S. Ambassador to Mexico, Ronald Johnson, has formally contacted the Mexican embassy regarding Hawkins' case. Dean said the movement made in the past several days surpasses what had occurred in the previous 9 months, and he thanked Texans for pressuring federal officials. Now, I know I've been covering this story for the past few days as new developments come in, and I'm sure that new developments will continue to come in over the following weeks as this case kind of follows. So if you are very interested in this case, feel free to scan the QR code on your screen to check out the articles that will be posted to our website as this story continues. Moving on to our next story, Smith County's new immigration program is sparking economic concerns. On Tuesday morning, just 1 week after Smith County Precinct 4 decided to join the 287G Task Force program, which permits local agents to enforce immigration protocols, concerns from employees and business owners are surfacing. Hosted by the Tyler Area Builders Association, the meeting brought together restaurant owners, hospitality, and construction workers, along with other industry leaders. Some voices of concern are among the attendees Bob Westbrook, who is a member of Texas Restaurant Association, who expressed his worries about how employee absenteeism could impact the economy. Westbrook stated, quote, "It's important that our employees feel safe going to the grocery store, that they feel safe going to school, that they feel safe coming to work because we desperately need them. If not, businesses lose essential workers, service slows, projects stall, and the economic ripple affects every resident." The issue is hitting the construction industry and housing market particularly hard. Carrie Hamblett from the Tyler Area Builders Association noted that the already minimal staffed construction sector could face even greater shortages. Hamblett elaborated, quote, "If it takes us 6 months to build a starter home instead of 2 or 3, then the price will rise exponentially," end quote. There's also an impact on local businesses. One local hotel is grappling with staffing challenges. Amy Patel, a local hotelier, shared, quote, "Unfortunately, we have to close down rooms, mark floors as dirty, reduce half of the building's operation, and stop serving breakfast, which is affecting our brand standards," end quote. Conversely, restaurants like Ruby's are fully staffed but remain anxious about the impending decision. Manuel Yanez from Ruby's marked, quote, "All of our people are very dedicated, and even though they may feel the risk they have made, or may have the fear, I think everyone has really shown up to work. It's obviously a livelihood for them as well. They've just been brave to continue to try and be as normal as possible," end quote. Some people are seeking alternatives, however. The Tyler Area Builders Association has reached out to the Smith County Sheriff's Office advocating for a return to the lower level force program, moreover. TABA is facilitating connections for those in need with legal aid resources. That is also another big developing story that is going around in the Smith County area. I'm sure as more bills are passed or the laws are changed, or just to see what the Smith County area does, we will keep you updated on how that story develops as well. But to move on to our next story of the evening, around Texas, the city of Big Springs, west of Abilene, will now join Tyler, Kilgore, and 5 other East Texas cities as film-friendly communities. Lindiana Reyes shows how this designation by the governor could bring more money to the West Texas area.
Right here in the city of Big Spring, they're joining more than 200 film-friendly Texas certified communities, which means the city will be able to welcome more media production and to showcase their city and some historic sites like the one behind me into shows and movies.
It's a signal to the industry, that Big Spring is open. And thanks to the measurements of the city council, it allows for production companies to kind of remove the hurdle and have a streamlined experience when they come into town. That puts us on the list. It puts us on the map.
Womble believes that it will bring revenue to the city and West Texas.
TV productions come to, towns, whether it's a rural town or a big town. It produces massive amounts of revenue in lodging and food and just kind of typical sales tax, as well as a moniker amount of revenue and permits and process. But the idea is always, maybe not necessarily the Magnolia effect of something that happened in Waco, but to create an awareness that generates revenue over, decades.
We are told that the citizens should be excited.
You can create anything from jobs and also economic impacts with local businesses that tends to stay inside the community, inside the town. And also, you never know what's going to happen. We've had a couple feature films filmed here already, one being 55-something years old, another one being about 4 or 5 years old. And town folks got pretty excited. It was kind of neat to be a part of that.
Now that the city is Film Friendly Texas certified and they have gone through all their guidelines and trainings, media productions can now choose to do their movies and shows here. Reporting in Big Spring, I'm Lidiana Reyes.
Well, thank you, Lidiana, for your sharing your coverage on that story. It is also great to see other media just markets and people have a way to expand. I mean, I'm in the media as well, as you can tell. This is just awesome to be able to see the West Texas area get more media friendly and get into the film industry. You know, I thought about going into film when I was going into college and everything. I decided to stick with news because that's something I knew that I would just love. But yeah, it's great to see film students and just film people get to have that nice designation over in West Texas. Now it is time to go into the first break of our show, but when we come back, I will have some more Thanksgiving stories to share for you all, as I gave you that disclaimer earlier in the show. Lots of Thanksgiving stuff coming up, including some stories about how East Texas community members are helping their fellow community members just stay fed this Thanksgiving holiday season, but more on that when we come back from the break. I will see you all then. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to East Texas Today on KETK Plus. I'm your host, Tristan Van Beem. Thank you all so much for joining me on this edition of the morning show. It is always so great to have you all here, and I just appreciate you watching this Thanksgiving evening and taking the time out of your morning to just watch the show. I really appreciate you guys supporting KETK Plus. And if you're just tuning in, we talked about a couple Thanksgiving stories, but not all that we're going to be discussing this evening. That's coming up a lot more here. I figured we could just cover some of the other non-Thanksgiving stories earlier in the show, so that way we could just give a big focus on it right here in this block. So it's time to get right into the action, as we have a lot of stories to cover and just one morning show to do it in. So let's go ahead and get right into the show. Christus Mother Frances Hospital in Tyler got some of their smallest patients into the holiday spirit this week with some festive Thanksgiving photos. Now I gotta just warn you guys right now. I'm about to pull up a picture on the screen, and it might be the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life. So just mentally prepare yourself that you're about to see some cuteness right here. Look at this. Isn't that just adorable? They got the babies dressed up as little turkeys. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I got to move on with the story though. For Thanksgiving this year, Christus Mother Frances staff took Thanksgiving photos of some of their neonatal intensive care unit babies, also known as the NICU, to brighten their families' days at the hospital. NICU babies are often born early or need special care that requires extended time at the hospital. Christus Mother Frances Hospital officials said, quote, "Our smallish patients celebrated Thanksgiving dressed as the cutest little turkeys that you'll ever see. Every giggle and feathered onesie was a reminder of the gratitude we feel for their resilience as we celebrate this season of generosity. We're incredibly grateful for the dedicated nurses, families, and volunteers who make each day a little brighter for our families, spending their holiday season in our NICU. Happy Thanksgiving." End quote. Wow. To learn more about their work, visit Christus Health's NICU page online. Also, there are more pictures of these babies that are on our website, KETK.com. If you want to check them out, I believe there's about 4 or 5 of them in that article. If you can just go ahead and scroll onto the homepage, you'll find that article right away. Wow, that is just adorable. Look at those little babies dressed up as Thanksgiving turkeys. Whoever came up with this idea is a genius, because I would have never thought of anything like this. So big shout out to them. Hopping into our next Thanksgiving story for this block, the Longview Thanksgiving Food Drive took place this week alongside Gordarzy and Young's annual turkey giveaway, with both efforts working to support families in need during the holiday season. The Longview Thanksgiving Food Drive is an annual community event that collects grocery items and monetary donations to help households prepare for Thanksgiving. This year's distribution was held on Monday at the Maud Cobb Convention Center, where families picked up food boxes. Alongside them, Gordarzy and Young hosted their own turkey giveaway, further adding to the drive's offerings. Both organizations continued their efforts on Tuesday. The Longview Thanksgiving Food Drive held a distribution day for pre-approved families at Maud Cobb, while Gordarzi and Young handed out additional turkeys at Gilmer Elementary School. Organizers say the need in the community has grown significantly. The Longview Thanksgiving Food Drive received more than 2,200 applications from families this year, over 500 more than in 2024. Charlotte Davis, chairman of the Longview Thanksgiving Food Drive, said the event has a positive impact not only on recipients but also on volunteers. Davis said, quote, "If you look at their faces, most of them smile as they're handing out a box of turkey. If they feel good about it, then we can feel good about it. And the whole community can say that we've done a good job." Meanwhile, Gordarzi and Young's turkey giveaway marked its 7th year. A company associate emphasized the importance of supporting families during a challenging time. The associate said, quote, "It's a good thing to be able to provide meals for people during the holiday season, especially with the state of our economy and nation," end quote. Together, both efforts served as a reminder of how community support can make the holidays brighter for thousands of East Texas families. See, I told y'all we were going to see some East Texas community members doing great things for each other during the Thanksgiving holiday season, but we're not even close to being done yet. Got plenty of stories, but this one's going to gear more toward the downtown Tyler area. So it's not really donating for Thanksgiving, but it's letting you know how holiday travel could be affected if you plan on visiting the downtown Tyler area this holiday season. So you should plan ahead this holiday season as the downtown Tyler projects affected roads with several streets closed down for construction in that area. City officials say holiday shoppers can still move through the area smoothly as long as they plan ahead. Lindsay Frohnberger, Tyler's downtown specialist, said detours around College Avenue, Irwin Street, and Ferguson Street are part of the city's downtown improvement project. Work at the intersection of College and Irwin is expected to wrap up in January. She said multiple projects, including county courthouse work and federally mandated water line upgrades, are happening at the same time, but the city is coordinating them to limit long-term disruptions, temporary asphalt on brick streets, and she added, it is the only place where while crews work to reserve the original bricks. To navigate the area, Frohnberger urged drivers to follow reroute signs and allow extra travel time. Residents can also submit any questions through mytylertexas.com. Frohnberger emphasized that downtown businesses rely on strong community support throughout the construction period, saying, quote, "These businesses need your support now more than ever." She encouraged any business with concerns to reach out to the city's Main Street Department for assistance. Parking should not deter shoppers, saying, quote, "We have 2 free parking garages at the end caps of downtown, the Fair Plaza Garage and the Smith County Parking Garage, just steps away from the square," Cronenberger said. Street parking is available and residents will not be ticketed during construction. The Plaza Tower Company also opened its parking at Irwin Street and Boys the Ark Avenue. Drivers who receive a ticket at the garage can have it validated by a Plaza Tower retail store. Frohnberger encouraged holiday visitors to take advantage of the free garages and view downtown restaurants' menus on the city's websites and consider downtown venues for meetings and events. She said, quote, "If you're in South Tyler looking for somewhere to host a meeting or an event, please choose a downtown restaurant," she said. With a little planning, downtown Tyler remains fully accessible during the holidays, and residents are encouraged to explore local spots to make the season memorable. Now, some of you may recognize that name of Lizzie Frohnberger. That's because I did a full 26 to 30-minute interview with her earlier this week, and that full interview is actually available on our YouTube page. So if you go to YouTube and just search up KETK, and then you scroll over to our playlist section, and then you just look for something for a story titled about the downtown Tyler area, you'll be able to see that full-length interview. Lindsay does a great job of going into detail of how people can navigate that Tyler area and also support Tyler businesses as the area is affected by construction during this time. And for moving on to another Thanksgiving story, as Cyber Monday and online shopping ramp up, the Texas Department of Public Safety, also known as DPS, is reminding East Texans to take steps to shop safely online. DPS Chief Information Officer Jessica Ballou says the high volume of shoppers during the holidays creates prime opportunities for online scams. Ballou said, quote, "Scammers count on people being distracted, rushing to make purchases, or simply losing track of what they've bought," end quote. She adds that taking a few extra seconds to verify a website, use a secure connection, or check for trust seals can help protect your data from being compromised. The DPS recommends shopping with trusted sources and well-known retailers and avoiding unsolicited links sent through emails, text, or online ads. Scammers may promote fake websites with deals that seem too good to be true or send fake package tracking messages. DPS advises shoppers to watch for odd formatting or subtle spelling errors. Additional safety measures include avoiding public Wi-Fi and ensuring websites are secure, often indicated by https:// in the address bar before entering personal information. Using digital wallets, virtual card numbers, strong passwords, and multi-factor authentication can further safeguard personal data. Shoppers are also encouraged to monitor their bank and credit card accounts for suspicious or unauthorized activity. DPS said that while they remain committed to protecting Texans online, practicing good cyber hygiene can also ensure a safe, stress-free holiday shopping season. Well, big shout out to Texas DPS for giving us all those tips. I'm sure that we really appreciate it. I've never personally done any online shopping for Cyber Monday or Black Friday. I honestly don't really do much shopping online as usual. I'm kind of old school. I like to be able to go in the store, check it out, maybe hold it and just see if I really want to buy that. But if you are a holiday shopper, which I know a lot of people out there are, especially in the age with all the phones and everything, I'm sure that you can check out that article on our website as well, just to see how you can stay safe this holiday season. You don't want to get scammed and lose a lot of your money this holiday season, and then your loved ones end up not getting those Christmas gifts that you really wanted to get them for this season. And everyone, it is time to head into another break. But when we come back, we have, guess what? Even more Thanksgiving stories to cover for you all. So I will see you all when we come back from the break. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to East Texas Today on KETK Plus. I'm your host, Tristan Van Beem. Thank you all so much for joining me on this edition of the morning show, and I appreciate you watching on Thanksgiving as well. I hope that you're watching with your family on the couch, surrounded by loved ones, and I'm hoping that all these stories that I'm bringing about Thanksgiving are bringing you all some joy for this holiday season. So that's pretty much all I can do on that point, is just bring you joy and bring you the latest news updates as well. Now, I know around this time in the show is usually when we bring in our meteorologist to talk about the weather, but our meteorologist is not here today. So I'm just going to go ahead and encourage you to look out for weather updates in our shows later on in the evening. Just to let you know, we're only going to be having shows at 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. So that's when we're going to have our weather for that. But we also have an article on our website at KETK.com that is updated regularly with the latest weather. I was talking to our meteorologist these past couple days about what the weather should be looking like. So today and tomorrow should be fine, but I know that on Saturday and possibly Sunday, we might be catching some rain. So just make sure that you try to keep yourself updated on that and check in with our latest weather reports and our interactive radar to catch up on those weather updates. Now that we've kind of gone over the weather for today and then also kind of throughout the weekend, it is time to get into the first story back from the break. And guess what? It's another Thanksgiving one. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. As Thanksgiving approaches, the SPCA of East Texas is urging pet owners to be mindful of which holiday foods can keep their animals safe and which ones could send them to the emergency vet. Megan Rischel and Allison Tuttle with the SPCA of East Texas say several traditional dishes should be kept away from cats and dogs, including turkey skin and bones, corn on the cob, heavily seasoned foods, and anything that could cause an obstruction. Many dog owners may wonder why turkey bones are discouraged. Rischel says while dogs can have plain white turkey meat, the bones can cause serious problems, saying, quote, bones can get stuck as they're going through the digestive tract or as they go down the trachea, where they can puncture or splinter, end quote. Tuttle said their organization typically sees an increase in obstructions this time of year as well as dehydration, which often results from too much sugar consumption. She advises pet owners to not give their animals any sweet treats, including breads, cake batter, sugary desserts, or sparkling apple cider. Pet owners should also look out for nuts in holiday dishes, as many act as toxins for animals and potentially lead to kidney failure. Tuttle suggests a safer way to include pets in the holiday meal by take some of their regular food, either dehydrated or moisten it, and place it in a muffin pan and bake it. This creates a small, pet-safe, quote, slice of Thanksgiving dinner. Other dog-safe Thanksgiving foods include cooked pumpkin, unseasoned, boiled, or steamed carrot, Cooked pumpkin, unseasoned, boiled, or steamed carrots, unseasoned potatoes, baked, boiled, or steamed, unseasoned green beans, canned, frozen, or fresh cranberries cut into small pieces, and apples without the cores. Foods to keep away from pets include high-fat dishes, wild mushrooms, candy, chocolate, salty foods, onions, garlic, alcohol, grapes, raisins, and pitted fruits and caffeine. If your pet manages to sneak something they shouldn't, Rochelle and Tuttle said to watch for changes in behavior such as vomiting, diarrhea, or lethargy. If you notice any of these symptoms, you should take your pet to an emergency veterinarian immediately. You can also contact the SPCA Poison Control Center at 888-426-4435 or the Pet Poison Helpline at 855-764-7661. Now, I personally don't have a dog, and my family doesn't really own pets, at least the ones that are hosting Thanksgiving anyway, but it's great to see that the SPCA of East Texas is looking out for our pets as well this holiday season. And moving on to a next holiday story. This is actually going to be about what stores and restaurants are open today during the Thanksgiving season. If some of you do not have plans with your family, I'm sure you can check out these local businesses and support our local businesses in the Tyler area to make sure that you get that Thanksgiving meal that I'm sure you want. As Thanksgiving approaches, here's a look at the stores and restaurants that will be open for last-minute shoppers, travelers, and anyone planning to dine out. Be sure to double-check with your local locations for specific hours. Now, just a heads up, I'm going to be listing off a lot of stores here, so if you want to bust out the pen and paper to be able to write that down, I highly suggest that. Stores open on Thanksgiving include Brookshire's, who is open until 2 p.m., Super One Foods open until 2 p.m. as well, Sprouts Farmers Market open until 2 p.m., Fresh and is open until 2 p.m. as well. We also got CVS, which hours vary by location. Some stores open with pharmacies closing at 2 p.m. as well. That kind of seems like the theme, open until 2 p.m. for a lot of these stores. We also have Walgreens, which is 24-hour stores will remain open as well for 24 hours. Ooh, look at that, Walgreens. All right. And then Kroger is going to be open until 5 p.m. with their pharmacies closed. And then the Dollar General is going to be open until 10 p.m. with Dollar Tree open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Restaurants open on Thanksgiving include IHOP, open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., and their hours may vary. Applebee's is also going to be open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., with Cracker Barrel open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., and hours may vary as well. Then we also have our Golden Corral open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Hours may vary. And then we have Ohio Sushi in the Tyler location offering free meals starting at 11 a.m. I might have to hit that up after the show, not going to lie. And then we also have Texas Music City Grill and Smokehouse, the Tyler location open from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving Thanksgiving courses. Then we have the Circle K Big Sandy location hosting a free Thanksgiving luncheon from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Look at that. We got some back-to-back free food here. Might have to take a couple lunch breaks. Don't tell my boss. Denny's is going to be open from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. and hours may vary as well. Then we also have the Saltgrass Steakhouse, the Tower location, open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Hours are going to vary by location. Then Texas de Brazil, that place, open starting at 11 a.m. Remember to check with individual stores and restaurants to confirm hours and availability before you head out. If y'all never had Texas de Brazil, I highly recommend. It's this place where they just have tons of different meats, and it's a little expensive, but they have great, great food. So if you never had Texas de Brazil, they're open starting 11 a.m., so check that out if you don't have any Thanksgiving plans. All right, it is time to hop into another break of our show, excuse me. I just hit the mic. I'm sure that probably hurt your ears at home. Sorry about that. But it is time to hit another break. Then when we come back, I'm going to have some more stories for you all, but I will see you all after. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back from the break, and welcome to East Texas Today on KETK Plus. I'm your host, Tristan Van Beem. Thank you all so much once again for joining in and watching the morning show on Thanksgiving. We've gone over a lot of Thanksgiving stories so far. I believe we have at least a couple more to get into, but I'm going to start off with this other story that takes place in Kilgore, where a business is giving free Thanksgiving meals to community members who may not have access to one this year. I'm talking about Clayton's Get and Go in the Kilgore area. Clayton's Get and Go is a gas station and deli with multiple locations across East Texas, providing residents with fuel and a variety of hot meals, including ready-made and made-to-order options. The company said, quote, "We know times have been hard on some families this year, so we want to lend a hand to those in need," end quote. The Kilgore location on Industrial Boulevard will be open on Thanksgiving Day from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. or until the food runs out. So if you guys need a meal to go to, go ahead and hit up that location on Industrial Boulevard, 12 to 4. That is so great to see East Texas businesses helping out their fellow community members, especially those who are in need on times of holidays. Moving on to our next story, the King of Country is getting ready for an epic performance in Lubbock. It's scheduled to happen next year, but the city is already in a frenzy. McKenna Earnhardt has more on this excitement.
I just kept hearing my phone go off and off and off, and I'm like, what's going on?
Well, it was the King of Country announcing his show at Jones AT&T Stadium for the weekend of April 24th, with tickets selling out within minutes.
That was the craziest thing ever.
Beverly Davis owns 4 Airbnbs near the Texas Tech campus with 6 listings in total. She's no stranger to big weekends like graduations and football games, but says she has never seen her properties get booked this fast.
I've had other events, but I never got completely booked in 5 minutes.
Davis says her freaky tiki rental got double booked in a single minute because Airbnb and VRBO could not even sync before someone grabbed it.
I had to cancel the reservation at 10:31, and luckily they were cool enough, and I said if they ever come back and visit, I'll give them a discount.
And then George Strait surprised fans with a second show that weekend, and Beverly's calendar cleared again. Every house, every listing. And the Overton Hotel tells us all 303 of their rooms were also booked that same weekend.
We need George Strait to come to Lubbock more often.
Well, look at that. If you're a George Strait fan, you know exactly where to go if you want to see him live perform. That is going to be in the Lubbock area. I personally do not listen to that much country music, so I probably won't be there. But if you guys are really into country and you love your George Strait, I'm sure there are ways you can find out to get those tickets. I'm sure they're online somewhere. Don't have that for you, but just want to say thank you so much, McKenna, for your coverage on that story. Now, I'm going to go ahead and head to another break. I know that was a short block, but coming back up, I'm going to go over some holiday travel forecast that I did with AAA a couple weeks ago, kind of where they where Daniel from AAA is just going to be discussing the traffic that we can expect to see and when people should leave in order to not get stuck in as much traffic as possible. So, going to have those tips and tricks for you when we come back from the break. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to East Texas Today on KETK Plus. I'm your host, Tristan Van Beem, and thank you all so much once again for joining me on this edition of the morning show on your Thanksgiving Day. Now, as I mentioned before the break, we're going to look at a full interview that I did with Daniel Armbruster a couple weeks ago about the holiday travel forecast. It's basically just going to go over what people are going to be seeing with traffic on the roads as they travel for Thanksgiving. I know that Thanksgiving is going to be happening today, so for those of you who are leaving later in the day, this is what you can kind of expect throughout the Texas area, as a lot of people are driving or whether they're flying to go out and see families. Maybe they're doing a later Thanksgiving. Daniel's going to be going over all of that right now. So I'm going to just go ahead and play the the holiday travel forecast clip for you right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Travel Tuesday. I'm your host, Tristan Van Beem, and thank you so much for joining me today. And now, as always, I have with me Mr. Daniel Armbruster from AAA Texas. Daniel, how are you doing today?
Hey, Tristan, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you, too. How was your weekend?
It was great, didn't have to travel anywhere,
Mhm.
so stayed home and just got ready for Christmas and the holidays, actually. So,
Just had a nice, relaxing weekend. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, the holidays are coming up pretty quick, especially with Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, it's just good to get in a groove and try to make sure you watch out for that traffic, too.
Yeah, in fact, AAA just put out their forecast for Thanksgiving today.
Okay.
This is expected to be the busiest travel period for Thanksgiving on record. We saw that last year as well, so another record year for travel when it comes to Thanksgiving travel. So that means here in Texas, we'll see about 5.8 million Texans traveling 50 miles or more for the holiday. That's up 1.1% from last year. It's higher than our pre-pandemic levels. And then on a national level, we're expecting 81.8 million Americans to travel. Thanksgiving, of course, is a Texans tradition. Texans really show up for it, and we see that in the numbers again this year.
And it seems like nearly everyone is driving. So, how many Texans are expected to be on the road for this forecast?
Yeah, busy roadways expected. 5.3 million Texans are forecasted to travel over the holiday period. That's nearly 90% of all travelers. So most of those will travel by car. We do always remind everyone, of course, plan ahead, especially when it comes to safety. So AAA and Mothers Against Drunk Driving are working together to urge people this holiday season to not drive impaired. So over the last 5 years, 868 lives have been lost in drunk driving crashes during the Thanksgiving Day holiday. So it's really important to have a plan, a ride share, a designated driver, or public transit.
Wow, that is a lot of people, and that is a just sad statistic to have. But what about air travel? Are the airports going to be packed, or Daniel, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. More than 328,000 Texans are forecasted to fly. That's up 2% over last year. And if you're flying, we just remind you, Tristan, arrive early. Make sure you get there at least 2 hours for domestic, 3 hours for international before your flight. Book your parking ahead of time. Check in online. Download your airline's app. Always a good idea. And then it just helps save time when you get to the terminal and it's really busy.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure. I mean, those airports can get busy, especially around the holidays and everything. But I want to also talk about gas prices, which are also on everyone's mind. What should drivers budget for this year as far as gas?
Well, when you look at gas prices last Thanksgiving, they're going to be pretty similar to this year. Right now, the average around Texas is a close to 260, 261. So that's almost identical to where it was a year ago. And I just recommend filling up the night before your trip. That way you don't have to deal with the gas stations probably be busier, especially if you're leaving on Tuesday or Wednesday. Don't forget you can use the AAA mobile app to find the cheapest gas prices near you too.
Alrighty, and then as part of this forecast, what destinations are Texans heading to this year? What are some of those most popular spots? Is it in Texas? Is it outside? What are we looking at?
Well, so in Texas, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, of course, San Antonio, those are going to be
Hmm.
popular destinations, the larger metro areas where families may gather, but also the Hill Country, a very popular
Okay.
destination. I know my family goes there as well. Not necessarily for Thanksgiving, but the day after they go on their hunting trip. So,
Oh, okay, that's
you know,
awesome.
the Hill Country is a popular place. Also, when you look at it from a national standpoint, Tristan, Orlando, Florida, South Florida, that area tops the list. Los Angeles is also on there, along with Vegas. Honolulu is a big vacation destination for some families to get away to over the holiday. And internationally, when we look outside of the U.S., we see Paris, France, as a popular destination. Punta Cana really big right now, the Dominican Republic, and even Sydney, Australia. So you know that's according to AAA's booking data. That people want to really make those big memory trips, and more people are choosing to travel over the holidays to like a destination vacation and have their holiday there, than maybe just at the traditional like going to grandma's house. Of course, most people still do the traditional way, but we are starting to see this trend of more and more people going to a destination for the holidays.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's kind of a transition from the typical staycation that a lot of people do, like you said, with their family members and everything like that. And so, since people are going to be traveling a lot and with travel this busy, how can people make planning easier ahead of time?
Great question. So, travel advisors are really a good idea. At least talk to one. You can see what they can do for you, but usually they can make a pretty big difference, especially with those record crowds out there. They can lock in better deals and routes. Of course, time is running out. And then, of course, if you have any airline changes or or you're cruising or something like that, they can deal with navigating that change. Also, just building a custom itinerary for you and handling all those details so that you don't have to. So just keep that in mind. Uh, that's one way to make sure. Again, if you're driving, make sure you fill up on gas the night before. If you're flying, download the airlines app, arrive at the airport early. All important things to do no matter which mode of travel you are going to do this Thanksgiving.
Well, awesome. Thank you. Just a little basic overview. So, talk to a AAA travel advisor if you need, and then also just make sure you're planning ahead and everything like that. Don't want to do anything last minute because that's how you really get stuck behind everyone else. And thank you, Daniel, so much for joining me on another episode of Travel Tuesday. I really appreciate it.
Great to be here, Tristan.
Well, once again, thank you so much, Daniel, for letting us all know that great information about holiday travel and what people can expect to see whenever they're traveling, either to Thanksgiving or from Thanksgiving. And yeah, it is that time of the show where we got to end it off. I know that you guys have had a great time watching the show, and I really appreciate everyone who tuned in during this holiday. And yeah, I want to wish you all safe travels and just have a great Thanksgiving and enjoy that time with your family. I can't wait to have that time with my family on this weekend. So I will see you all on Monday because we're not having a show tomorrow. So yes, please have a great rest of your weekend, and I will catch you all on the next show.